Well, if you are injured while working, you may want to think about what steps that you should take next. And to help us figure all that out and to how to make the right moves after that accident, those are critical moments right there. We're catching up with local attorney Alex White. You know, Alex, I like your shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
I knew he'd come with it. Supporting the cars. You got the memo about the veterans. It's veterans. We're supporting veterans all week long, so thank you.
So, I told you we've been giving out free shirts at the U of L games.
Yeah.
These were the ones that we gave out for Veteran Appreciation Day.
Oh, those are great.
So we gave about 1,500 of these in the parking lot at U of L.
Yeah.
And I wanted to set a record of being the first person to wear camo on your show.
You are.
So I hope
you asked me that question before the interview, and I'm like, I think you are the first person. Congratulations for that honor, right? Do you have any, by the way, any T-shirt giveaways that are coming up to promote or anything like that?
At any given time, we will.
You never know.
But we're at the stadiums doing that. So if it's a U of L football game, we got one left, and we're probably going to be there with some swag.
Yes. All right, we have to catch up about that. So let's talk about, like, a lot of people may be injured on the job, or maybe they're in a car going to a client meeting, and those all seem like super gray areas. Like, how do you know if you're injured at work? What are the first steps that you should do? So let's begin with, you're at work, you get injured.
So by law, you have to give a reasonable notice to your employer of the injury, and that's kind of where the case starts.
Okay.
But you do have to notify your employer. This law is an area that I actually kind of hate and despise because it's called workers' compensation, which has this great sound like, oh, we're going to make sure the worker's compensated, when actually, in my opinion, it's a law that if you're truly injured at the job, the law is kind of stacked against you. So that's why it's so important out of the gate to get an attorney or a law firm that handles workers' compensation cases.
Yeah, to help navigate that area. So what if, let's say I'm going to a story or I'm going to a client meeting and I'm injured on the way there. So I'm not technically in the building, or I could be driving.
Right. So travel to and from, man, it's like taking the bar again.
I'm sorry.
Travel to and from a job usually isn't something that's going to be covered. There can be very specific.
Why not?
Again, it's workers' compensation law. It's a misnomer.
That's just not fair, Alex.
But travel during work can be covered.
Okay.
If you are in the course of the employment of actually what you're employed for, so long as it's not a frolic.
What is a frolic?
It's just one of those legal terms that makes everything more confusing.
So if you are driving to something that's for work, you're on the clock, then that's covered under workman's compensation.
Usually, and yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh my, no wonder you need an attorney. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So the next question, you feel like you're taking an exam again. So if you're injured at work and you sue the company that you work for, can you lose your job?
Right. So they should not have a situation where there's a retaliation against you. And people are often nervous and afraid by that. And I say, well, that case might be worth more than your workers' comp case.
Right.
So in short, with these workers' comp cases, we always say start with the attorney because, believe it or not, in a workers' comp situation, most of the time your employer can even, the insurance company for your employer can even control what doctors you see for your injury. So everything kind of gets backward and different in these cases, and that's why there's not a lot of attorneys that do it. And this is an area where I felt like it was underserved in the community. We had a hard time even finding firms to refer cases out to. So a few years ago, we got schooled up on it and do it in-house now, and I think that's really important.
Like you said, it's like things are kind of stacked against the worker a little bit there,
Yep.
right? That's all that I have for my quiz.
Okay.
Pretty much. I mean,
All right,
any
good.
notes and things that you should collect, that you need to preserve in order to give to that attorney?
With any case, I'm always big on pictures and videos. If there's ever a situation where you're in front of a jury, you can have the best lawyer in the world, but it's better to show the jury than to tell them. So pictures, if possible, are always going to be good of the scene, of the injuries, of the scarring, etc.
All right, all good information. Thanks for stopping by.
No problem.
For Veterans Day and Veterans Week here. So to get in touch with Alex, if you're going to reach out to him and his team at Alex R. White Lawyers, PLLC, just head over to SueDistractedDriver.com.